So, Derek, out of nowhere, the Pokemon Company announced a Pokemon Direct, or, I'm sorry, I should say Pokemon Presents, or is that Pokemon Presents? Do you know which one is it? I guess it works both ways, right?
I mean, it kind of does, yeah. I mean, that being said, I'm going to state right off the bat, I am not expecting a whole lot of out of this, because what else really can Pokemon be announcing at this point? Because I think most of their focus is going to be on this DLC, and I believe there was a translation of the Japanese announcement as well, correct? That went into a little more detail?
Yeah, the translation states that it'll be focusing primarily on the expansion pass, I'm paraphrasing right now, but there will be other announcements or other products covered as well. So it's not exclusive to the DLC, and of course that always, hearing that gets me intrigued. I should mention real quick, this is slated for 6 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, which I believe is almost immediately before the actual drop of the expansion pass, isn't that right?
Well, we don't have an exact time, but this is almost sure to be like, hey, this is over, you can go play now.
Right, that's probably the case.
That is one of the big predictions you can easily have for this thing, is it's just like, okay, hey, it's ready, go play. Now that we've shown it off.
So I guess, what do you expect of the expansion pass itself? What more can they fill in that we don't know?
I think they'll actually explain some of the details that they hinted at in the trailer. So, like, we have the Max Soup that allows Pokemon to go from just a regular Dynamax form to a Gigantamax form, at least if they're able to have it. They've only shown the thing and talked about it in on websites and whatnot. So they've not actually come out and say, hey, this is what it does. So it's good to get out those kind of details, like here's what the Max Soup does, here's what going to these things and evolving Kubfu is like, here is how you explore the island and whatnot, and just getting a lot more involved, going a little bit more granular about all the possibilities within the Isle of Armor. I think that's really going to be the focus here.
Right, because we did see some glimpses of things that they hadn't officially shown off in depth, thanks to the IGN preview. So that's stuff they could delve into a little bit deeper to themselves if they wanted to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could even clarify what's going on with the level scaling. So they could have, if you go in at this level with this level Pokemon on your team, all the trainers will shift to that level, and it's hard to say whether that's real time or you can trick the system by going in with a team of level 10 Pokemon, because you can enter as soon as the you reach the point where the DLC is accessed in the game. So I think that's even before the first gym. So yeah, it's possible to get in there super early and do all this stuff. So the scaling is probably another thing that they'll want to focus on and really give details on how it works.
Right. So real quick, did you see this coming?
No.
Presentation?
I honestly thought it's out. Enjoy. Did not think they'd go into it.
Yeah, that seems... It's because we knew it was coming out tomorrow already, right?
Yeah. We've known for a long time. Well, not a long time, but basically since that last trailer... that it was coming out the 17th. We had that date, and it's all right, well, that's all we need to know. Let's just get right to it. Nope. But this might be one of those presentations all right, here's exactly what you're going to be doing,
right,
to try to sell it to you. The typical thing Nintendo does, where they keep all the secrets until it's out, and then they're going to reveal everything right away.
Mm-hmm. Now, they said this is 11 minutes. Is that correct? I think it said 11 minutes, right?
I saw 11 minutes, okay.
Yes. So. Yeah, how much time do you think they'll focus on this, on the first expansion pass?
Knowing Pokemon, they don't usually get right to the point, so I'm going to say about 6 to 7 minutes is going to be on the pass itself, going over these details. 1 to 2 minutes will be a fluff, and then maybe one or two other announcements, because they did say products.
Right.
I have a feeling they might take the opportunity to say, hey, Pokemon Journeys is on Netflix right now. Go check out that. And, we have this movie coming out, and here's when it's going to be available, or where it's going to be going, or stuff like that kind of thing. Maybe we'll get a new mobile game, because Pokemon likes to put out mobile games. Or maybe they'll surprise us and have a little Switch game for us to play. That'd be nice. Like an eShop game.
Like the Jump Rope Challenge game we just randomly got. Pikachu jumps.
Yeah, exactly. Change that to Magikarp Jump Switch, and Jump Rope with the Magikarp. Perfect.
Right. Real quick, though, do you think... Are they going to focus on the Isle of Armor, or do you think we'll get more about the Crown Tundra as well?
I think they're going to focus on the Isle of Armor, mainly because that's the thing that's coming out. That's the thing they're going to try to get people more invested in. And I can't remember if the expansion pass is separate, like you can choose one or the other, or you get both right away. So I think it behooves them to just, like, if it is just the whole thing combined, yay, get this. Or maybe because they, they're packaged together, they might want to show a little bit more of the Crown Tundra to get an idea of, like, here's what the whole value is. Hard to say, really, but my gut feeling is maybe 90% Isle of Armor, maybe 10% or less of Frozen Tundra.
I think that makes sense, yeah, because I think they would definitely want to tease the upcoming Expansion Pass 2 and to better show what all you're getting. Because you buy them, I forget, do you buy them together?
And that's the thing I'm not sure of. I to be honest, I planned on purchasing it tonight because I haven't gotten it yet. Just, saving up money and whatnot. So I don't know how it works. I'm going to get both anyway because of that. But they have been very clear with people. We're trying to make it clear to people is that if you have Sword, you need to buy the Sword version of the expansion pass, and vice versa. Because if you have Sword and you get the Shield expansion pass, it's not going to work.
Right.
So they're probably going to be pushing that messaging as well.
Probably. Are you excited for tomorrow, or do you think it's kind of like just a known quantity at this point?
It's mostly a known quantity. I'm excited for the fact that, hey, the DLC is going to be out. We get to finally check this whole new area. It's been confirmed that the entire Isle of Armor is a wild area, essentially. So it's going to be cool to see how they expand upon that idea, what Pokemon you'll come across, and maybe see how these new characters work out. So it's more about the excitement about checking out what it can do rather than what are they going to show. Because, like I said, usually with these Pokemon predictions, they're like, ooh, could this be the time we finally get Pokemon Snap? No. I don't think we're going to get anything like that.
That'd be amazing. I would just totally lose it. But I do think there has to be, we obviously know there's more to it because there's more products. But, I think it has to have, I feel like there has to be more than just more than just a focus on the expansion pass. Otherwise, it could have just been a trailer, right?
Correct. They could have just done an overview trailer and left it at that, but I don't think Pokemon does a lot of overview trailers. They tend to prefer to do this method, I guess? I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. But, yeah, there's probably, I'm going to say there's 2 or 3 things that'll be, I guess, worth showing in quotes. I'm not sure.
Well, here's one idea. How you mentioned possibly some small Switch game or a Switch game. What if we finally get a look at Detective Pikachu on the Switch? They announced it just a little over a year ago, saying it would offer a conclusion to the story, but we've seen nothing more of it since. Do you think it could happen?
That'd be a pretty good one. That'd be really good to have just a port of Detective Pikachu coming soon. Have that available because it's been a year or so, or is it 2 years now since Detective Pikachu has come out?
I've lost all track. I think it was a year before the movie, right? So I guess it was probably closer to 2 years now.
Oh, I'm talking about the movie itself. So.
Oh, that was last year.
Okay. But yeah, it's so I guess maybe go right off that, or maybe they'll announce Detective Pikachu 2, and hey, here's Detective Pikachu on the eShop. Another thing that honestly would get me really excited, everybody was losing their minds over Panel de Pon coming to the SNES service on the Switch. It'd be cool if we got a new Pokemon Puzzle League.
Oh man, that'd be wild, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's a nice, easy way. Not a lot of not a lot of stuff necessary. Just pop that bad boy in the eShop. $20. People would go nuts and pick up Pokemon Puzzle League easily. Do you think Pokemon Company would be willing to shell out for the Panel de Pon license though these days? Is the Panel de Pon license that expensive? Because they're not using it a lot. I guess that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I do think, though, we will at least get a smaller title of that caliber, perhaps, if not in the form of a mobile game, as you touched on perhaps earlier, and those often have been puzzle games, so we may see yet another Pokemon Puzzler, which would not surprise me in the least. And hey, if it takes the form of Pound de Pond or Pokemon Puzzle League, great, sign me up, I'm there. Especially to bring back the awesome 3D mode they had, the column view, if you recall. Oh yeah. That thing was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm all for it. What about, do you think we'll find out anything more about Pokemon Sleep? They announced that over a year ago, and it's been sleeping ever since. It feels like we're in Pokemon, no, not Pokemon, but the Wii Vitality Sensor territory at this point.
Yeah, it kind of, right?
Where it's like, we announced this weird thing, we're like, what's that going to be all about? And then we keep wondering what it's all going to be about, and it's just quietly canceled. That said, there is a possibility, because Pokemon Go is still going strong, and with the whole situation we're in right now, it might not be a bad time for Pokemon Sleep to have its own thing. So maybe, but I don't remember Pokemon Go having ever crossing over with a regular Pokemon announcement thing. Sort of Niantic and Pokemon Company keep their things separate as far as Go and the core series.
So, what is there anything else you might expect from this, Derek? Any kind of like, do you think we might get like any other surprises or anything else they can touch on that we know about that they haven't recently?
I'd say a special thing going on, like, hey, during this amount of time, this Pokemon will be much more likely to be caught in Dynamax battles, or
in the existing Sword and Shield.
Yeah, in the existing Sword and Shield, or like we'll have a discount going on for Pokemon Home, so if one of your friends gets the expansion pass, they can easily trade it to you, or something like that. Like some sort of customer appreciation type thing, like
cool.
Throw a bone for free outside of the DLC itself.
Yeah, that'd probably be a really good idea, especially since, of course, some people seem to be offended by the fact that the DLC was confirmed to be begun development before the final game finished, which isn't unusual and really shouldn't change anything. But of course, some people are upset by this, so maybe throwing them a bone might, help smooth things over a little bit.
Yeah, it probably won't, but it's a worthy attempt.
Yeah, it won't at all. All right, Derek, any final thoughts here about the Pokemon Presents or Presents?
Not a lot of expectations, but they could surprise us. But I think it's mostly going to be like, hey, here's what you're going to get to play.
What is your, because I usually ask for directs, what is your hype on a 1 to 10 scale for this thing?
Let's give this a solid 4 or 5, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking
straight
3.
average. Yeah.
I'm not expecting a ton, but it'd be nice if we get Detective Pikachu on Switch, or that would be pretty cool. I'm not expecting it, but that would be a nice surprise, I think. So, but beyond that, here's hoping for the best from possibly what other game announcements that they have, if any. We don't know. They said products, is pretty vague. Could be gaming, could be not. Although they announced a Detective Pikachu 2 movie, hey, I'm there for it. So
yeah, I thought that'd probably be the most exciting thing for you.
That probably would be. Exactly. All right, Derek, is that it? Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. Well, that's everything for us here. Thanks for watching. If you like what you just watched, make sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. For tons more on whatever the heck this ends up being tomorrow, plus everything else in the DLC expansion too. And with that, we'll catch you later. Bye.